Okay, first and foremost, I want to give all the honors, the praises, the glory belongs to Yahweh by Sham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Mahavakar Kodash. Honors to the apostles that are in the Holy Spirit and to the hopeful elect across the globe and to the few, the very few brothers and sisters that are listening and also learning in the hopes of being saved within these last days, because we're living in the last days of the last days. Right is right, wrong is wrong. You can't justify wickedness, because when you do that, guess what happens? You end up getting caught up in that. All right? When you justify wickedness, you end up becoming a part of it, and through that can lead to your own condemnation. And I only see this going one way and one way only, and that's Yahweh Shai's way, because he's the ultimate ruler. And so much things I've been praying upon, thinking upon, and sometimes we look at things and we're like, how comes things ain't speeding up in terms of judgment and certain things? No, the Lord is speeding up judgment. The Lord is doing things. So we got to have faith in that. The Lord Yahushua is moving things in the spirit. You watch the news, look at what's coming out. Look at what's coming out. That's the Lord doing that. That's Yahweh Shai that's doing that. Right? Bringing things that were in darkness to light. So if he's doing that with people that are on the high, how much those that are more lower? If you're in this truth, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you ain't got nothing to be worried about. You're not out there committing no crime. You're not outside the Betties. Nothing's wrong with going to the Bet. You're not outside of the Betties drinking Guinness all day, talking shit. You're not doing that. You live somewhat a productive life, right? So you, brothers, sisters, ain't got nothing to worry about. Nothing. Because you're not doing nothing that you should not be doing. Now, if you are doing something that you shouldn't be doing, then you should be a bit worried. Okay? But you don't need to. So we're going to go to it. There's flow in the spirit. Come on. We're going to start off in Galatians 4 and 17 and 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? So have I become an enemy to you because I'm telling you the truth? You become an enemy to certain people sometimes without knowing, because you're speaking truth in a world full of lies and deception. So I don't go out of my way to make enemies. People make you their enemy. And in Freemasonry, they say if you don't have an enemy, go and find one. And the one that would be your enemy with one that's not a Mason. Just throwing that out there, by the way. Making enemies. And it says, check this out, they zealously affect you, but not well. It says they zealously affect you, but not well. So they want to affect you, but not in a good way, right? Oh yeah, follower, join us. We're not joining you because you're wicked. But not well, yeah, they would exclude you. Yeah, please. Let's get as much people, when he comes into a store, when he goes into the cafe, please, just act like he's not there, please. So people, they're trying to zealously affect you like you need their validation. We don't care. We don't need your validation. We're not seeking validations from the world. So they figured they can exclude you. Yeah, exclude him, please. Make him feel worthless. Make him feel like he needs to come to us. No, we don't need to, because in this truth, you have people that help you, but they help you because the Lord sends people your way to get you where you need to get. So it's not a thing where you have to force it. There's always someone out there that the Lord sends to guide you and to help you and to give you what you need. But ultimately, the Lord is the one that provides, right? Matthew 6. Worry not about what you shall eat, what you shall put on, for the Lord, he knows all these things that you have need of. So people, they're thinking, well, no. We got to isolate him. We got to get him alone. We got to exclude him. We got to make him feel like he's worthless. No, we don't need to do that. Because you're wicked. And it says, exclude you that you might affect them. Because you're messing them up. A lot of these people can't get to sleep at night. Bro, you don't know what's happening. Bro, there's things that are happening behind closed doors. Certain people, they're having bad nightmares. All types of things are happening, bro. All right, but you're not going to see it all. There's things that are happening. That's why you need to be out here. I need to be out here teaching this truth and casting down these strongholds, these lies and these deceptions and false narratives and all this stupid street theater. Keep speaking. Stay consistent. Have momentum. Because when you do that, you're knocking down them walls like the walls of Jericho. You're knocking down them walls. And the walls is the lies, the deception, the strongholds of, different things. So keep being consistent and having that momentum. Okay? And it says, it is good to be zealously affected, always in a good thing. So it's not for no evil you're doing. It's a good thing. See, you got to put things in this proper perspective. What are you doing? You should know if you're a bad person or a good person. Well, it's not up to you, but you should know if you're a piece of, excuse my language, shit. You should know that. If you're being honest with yourself, or you're not. You should know if you got values. You should know if you live according to the scriptures. That's not for somebody else to determine that. We're not seeking no validation. And not only when I am present with you, my little children of whom I travail in birth again until Mashiach be formed in you, I desire to be present with you now, and to change my voice, for I stand in doubt of you. Tell me, ye that you desire to be under the law, do you not hear the law? So this is going into something, but this was Paul writing this letter about, you're going to have people that zealously affect you. So I'm laughing right now. Hold on, let me shoot that panic camera. Check this out. Look how my man's walking. Welcome to the Matrix. Look. He's power. What they call that? Power walking, right? That's power walking. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's get back to where we are now. Let's get back to it. He looks like Rothschild. The guy looks like a Rothschild as well. Let me pat the camera again. Looks like a Rothschild, Babakisha. So, they will zealously affect you, that they may exclude you. That excluding, like something you see in high school. Yeah, excluding from the group, make him feel like he needs to be up. Listen, you're a part of one of the most important things on the earth. You're a part of one of the most important things on the earth. You're a part of this ministry. It doesn't get no better. This is the most important thing you can do. You know, if someone said, we got a job for you, we're paying $500,000 a year. That don't even compare to this. This is the highest level of employment. You're being employed by the Heavenly Father and His Son. Employed. That's the biggest lot in the world. This is why I don't take this for granted, man. I don't take this for granted. You're working for the power of the whole universe. The whole entire universe. Come on, that's bigger than anything, bro. That's bigger than anything, bro. You can't put a price or label on that. And you gonna just treat that like anything. Brothers, you gotta treat this like your life depends on it. This is a high calling. This ain't no lower thing. This is a high calling. The highest calling you can ever have. Because someone may employ you and sack you the next day. We'll get rid of you. And the Lord can do that if you're lukewarm. So we got to put everything into this. So where was we? So we finished off on that now. Hold on just a minute. Oh man, hold on. I'm going to have to get a new Bible now. My pages are missing. Alright. Oh, that was boring. If you're bored, don't watch. This is about edification. It's not if you're boring. This is not entertainment. This is about the sealing of the elect. I was boring. This and that. Oh, good. Don't watch then. When them missiles hit your forehead and them angels basically slice your head off, then we'll see if it's boring. Sorry to get very graphic, but the angels are coming to slay as well. Alright? Oh, it's boring. And then when they start yawning with that low vibrational energy. This is for the elect. And the elect are going to receive the word, the engrafted word, which is able to save their soul. Hold on just a minute. There's something I'm missing. There's something I'm missing from here. So we went to Galatians. I lost my train of thought. Let's jump to this as well. I had it in here, and I put a bookmark in it, but the bookmark's no longer in it. So keep your head on a swivel. Brothers are dealing with a lot of stuff as well. There's a lot of witchcraft being sent our way on a daily basis as well. There's a lot of undercover groups, ABC groups that work for intelligence agencies that are watching us as well. So let's check this out. This is Psalms 27. And we're going to jump straight to verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord Jehovah is the strength of my life. Whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat my flesh, they stumbled and fell. This is a heavy prayer. When the wicked came to eat up my flesh, they fell, they stumbled. They stumbled, they fell. They stumbled. Right? And my foes came upon me to eat my flesh, they stumbled and fell. And this represents the occultists. And though an host should encamp against me, do you have people trying to encamp against you? Yeah? My heart shall not fear, though war should rise up against me. In this will I be confident. So if war rising up against you, be confident. The Lord's told us, stand in the gap. Some of you, stand in the gaps. This is a gap right now. I'm standing in the gap. Right? Ready for war. Standing in the gaps. One thing have I desired. Barry, let me just show you this again. Let me show you that again. One thing I've desired. I'm power walking. One thing I've desired of the Lord that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord Jehovah forever. Whew. I will seek after that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord Jehovah and to inquire in his temple. One thing he prayed for, Jehovah, that I may dwell in your temple, your holy temple, the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord Jehovah and inquire in his temple. Right? For in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me upon a rock. This is powerful stuff. A pavilion is a hiding place. A place you can sit, a place of peace, a place of protection from the enemy. Oh, this is a pavilion. I'm under a pavilion. Right, let me just pan the camera. This is a pavilion right here. Right? So a pavilion is a resting place. A shelter from the sun, from the rain, from the storm. It's the words, it's the Lord's. Powerful stuff. So the Lord's got us, our enemies, they're going to be confounded. They're doing a lot of stuff. They're beaming people with energy weapons. They're doing a lot of stuff. They're lying. They're trying to put us in a bad light. Right? They're trying to slander our name. They're trying to do character, defame our character. But if the Lord's for you, who can be against you? If the Lord is for you. No one. Because he's for you. So you got to have faith in this truth. And all the wicked are going down. The Lord's bringing them down. One by one. And please don't let me talk about this trafficking thing again. Let's go to Ezekiel. The Lord Jehovah has me bringing it out time and time and time again. Because he wants it out. Let's go to Ezekiel 28 and 5. Check this out. By thy great wisdom and thy traffic has they increased thy riches, and our heart is lifted up because of thy riches. It says by thy great wisdom. Right? and by their traffic, which is what? I looked up the word, it says trade as peddled. So you got a lot of peddlers, right? Peddling merchandise, traffic. Okay. And yeah, this is how they flourish in commerce. So trafficking is one of the biggest business in the world. It's just that you don't notice it because it looks like everyday business, right? Everyday business. So I've told you about that already. And I spoke to someone yesterday. He said, "You're not the only one." And someone said, "You're not the only one talking about that. You're not the only one." Well, I know I'm not the only one, but I'm really, really, really going in on the topic. I'm letting you know, like, come on. I'm letting you know what that stuff is. Yeah, other people talk about it, but they don't go in depth of what it actually is. Human trafficking is the exploitation of an individual. Could be man, it's rarely man, but men do get trafficked, depends. And woman and child. It's exploitation. It's another form of slavery. Okay? In slavery, what happened to us? We got moved around against our will. So if anyone knows about that more than anyone, it's you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Indianos. You got moved around, right? And you were sold to your enemies, and you were put on what auction blocks, you bought off and so forth. That's a form of trafficking. Today is still done. You go work, you have a wage, you're working. You got people today in the city of London, these fools, these NPCs. They get off the train, right? And, go back to work, get up, go back to work. Yeah, you're being trafficked. You're working for someone else, which is nothing with that. Everybody should work, right? But you're doing it to make the other person rich, right? You have a wage and you're hired, and they hire you for a wage, for what? Your services, right? You're being paid for your services, right? So therefore, that is a form of trafficking. Even it may not look like it. You take your children to school, right? You're not gonna see. They're not gonna like this one. Yeah, you take your children to school, right? Well, what you do with them children? You're putting them in a school, which a school's another form of. I always felt that school was another form of a prison, right? And so forth. Schools are just another program. Schools are like just another form of a detention center where they indoctrinate your children, right? The good thing is, I spoke to certain teachers, and they said they do teach the Bible in schools, which I believe that's beautiful. I think more of these schools need to actually teach the Bible, because that's our real curriculum. Education is the scriptures, right? Train up a child in the way he should go. When he's older, he shall not depart from it. But I always thought school was like an institution where you were indoctrinated, and they raise you up, and you get to about 17 to 18, then they bring you back to university or whatever, and they train you up to be an idiot, a fool, right? And I know this because I've spoken to a lot of teachers. And why is it everybody I speak to is a teacher as well? That's another thing, right? So this is real stuff, and they don't want me to speak about this. So I have a lot of respect for certain. I want to say this for certain teachers as well, because that's not an easy job. That's not an easy job teaching. But bro, you got to fill in all that paperwork as well. That's not an easy job, right? You got to deal with children misbehaving and all that stuff. But going back to the topic, let's read this. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic that has increased thy riches, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches. So trafficking, you're not going to like it. If you taking your children to school, they're being trafficked. Because if you don't, you do know the police can knock at your door and say, why are they in school, right? Because they have a register, right? Remember that, where they used to call your name on the register? If you wasn't there, say you were truanting or whatever. So if you don't send your children to school, they can imprison you and say that's abuse. That's not abuse. And listen, you don't know what type of background a teacher has as well. But again, stay on the topic. Schools, churches, it's everywhere. Traffic, slow down the traffic, speed it up. That's movement. Traffic is movement. In, out, commerce. It's commerce. It's importing. It's exporting. That's why when the politicians talk about, yeah, we're going to stop it. We're going to put an end to it. No, you're not. The Lord Yahushua is going to put an end to it. Because if you were going to put an end to it, you would have done that long time ago. What are you talking about? And if you do put an end to that, those that are above you will take you out. Because the elites run that program. And they need migrants in the country for cheap slave labor. Okay? So don't talk nonsense. Talking nonsense. Right? Prostitution. You know how many brothels there is in London? You know how many brothels there is in London? Say it. A lot. Right? There's what's the London City and all that? There's brothels there. There's brothels at Croydon and Wellington, all over the place. That's trafficking. Right? Prostitution rings. Women selling it. I looked on an article in Greece. There was women, because the debt prices were so high in there, they were selling their panani for a cheese sandwich. A cheese sandwich. That's what happens when there's poverty. Women are willing to do it, and it's not just women. I'm talking about just in a full spectrum. A lot of these companies and businesses are involved in it as well, because it's another form of racketeering. So even the drug dealers and all that, that's racket. Do you think the police don't know who your local drug dealer is, who your top drug dealer is in your neighborhood? That's all set up. Because with the technology they're using on me, if they really wanted to catch it, they know who your drug. They just want to, they know who your local drug dealer is. But they let them go until they get out of line. So they're the ones that keep the drug dealers in check. So don't talk to me about that. All right? That's why anywhere I go, you have the police trying to follow me as well, because they're in on it. Ain't no drugs get sold unless there's permission. Watch Training Day. You had that corrupt police officer. What was his name? Lorenzo. Right? And at the end scene, Robert Lorenzo, and what was he doing? He was stealing drugs from the lockers and putting it back out on street and framing people. And that was a case that goes back to that was based on Death Row Records, right? That was based on them corrupt law enforcement. It was called Rampart. Look it up. Rampart scandal. These were police officers that were gang members on Death Row Records, right? Kevin Gaines and all them things there, and Kevin Hackey. These were police officers, some FBI, but they were rocking red and blue. This is too much. This is a bit too much for some of you. I know you're going to get emotional. And if anything happened to me, it wasn't an accident, but we're protected. But I'm just putting that out there. They ain't going to take me out how they took out the other guy, Beba Kasha. And it says, and the heart is that because that riches. So this is how money is made. Yeah, you think your police officer ain't involved in that. The reason why the groomers are protected, because they have law enforcement. They have law enforcement. The gang members, they have law enforcement. Some of them have law enforcement in their pocket. If you're a gang member but you have a badge, oh my gosh. That means you can find loopholes within the system. That's called organized crime. Grooming, trafficking is organized crime. Now, one may say, well, what's he trying to do? What's he onto? What's he trying to do? Is he trying to come up against us? Because if he is, he's a goner. I'm not trying to come against. I'm reading the scriptures. I'm reading the scriptures. I'm telling you, the scriptures are telling you what it is. See what else we got. The scripture's telling you about pimping at your daughter. Don't do that. Lest the whole land be defiled with the whoredom. They don't tell you to sell her. All right, let's go to Judges 5. We're back to the law now. They that are delivered. Did you hear that? Mad. Mad. Gone. I'm used to that, but I don't mind when people call me mad. I know me. The Lord knows me. That's all that matters. This is Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the place of drawing water, they rehearse the righteous acts. So right now we're rehearsing the righteous acts of the Lord Yahweh Shem, rehearsing of the Lord, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of the villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates. So right now, you know we're rehearsing, right? It's a practice. You're not going to be perfect in this flesh. This flesh is sinful. Any of you say you don't get evil thoughts? Do you get evil thoughts? At least once or twice within a day, or probably even more. Yes, you do. Do you get feelings of lust sometimes? And you know that's not you. You got to check that. So we're rehearsing. Let's go to Timothy's. See if I can find it. The most beautiful thing you could do is realize we don't have it all together. And once you can do that, the Lord can really, really deal with you. I don't have it all together. It may seem like it. Why does he always seem happy? Why? That means everything. No, don't, wrong. Oh my God, that's a spirit. And why, oh no, it's not walking. Oh no. When it starts doing that, that means it's going to die in a corner. Hold on just a minute. Let me just show you something, brothers. That must be getting bullied. Hold on just a minute. I just want to show you something. Underneath here, you see a white dove just hiding. Hold on. Oh no. But that's spiritual as well. White doves are spiritual. Yes, that means it's at the age now. The reason why this white dove is hiding my hand here, it looks of age. It's obviously getting bullied, and when it gets of an old age, it dies off in a corner somewhere. Alright. So yeah, Baba Kishar, yeah, it's not moving too much. Don't know if his wings are still working. You have to find out. Well, that's spiritual, innit? A white dove, you know. Baba Kishar, you see it? Yeah, it's old. Baba Kishar. That's what happens when they get older. But anyway, let's get back to it, Baba Kishar. And there's another one right here. That's the one that's probably bullying it. All right. Oh, and there's another one there. So let's get back to the Salakia. Let's stay focused down. Hold on just a minute. So right now we're rehearsing them righteous acts, man. Rehearsing. Baba Kishar, that's what we got to do. Rehearse is right. Oh, that's so spiritual, bro. A white dove. So let's go back to this. We're going to go to Timothy's. What's the law for? What is it for? What is it for? See if we can find this. Because we are being raised up to be judges and make right decisions, man. Not wayward decisions. You're going to have to bear with me just a minute. See if I can find it. Okay. All right. This is 1 Timothy's 1 and let's go to verse 5. Now the end of the commandment is charity out of a pure heart, of a good conscience, and faith unfeigned. Why? Because charity also covers a multitude of sins, from which some having swerved have turned aside unto vain jangling, desiring to be teachers of the law, understanding neither what they say nor whether they affirm. But we know that law is good if a man use it lawfully. Oh, the law is good. But guess what, brothers? You got to use it lawfully. But the Pharisees, were they using it lawfully? They were not using it lawfully. You got to use it lawfully. Hold on just a minute. You got to use the law lawfully, the right way. You understand? Because some people use the law, the Pharisees, they were using it, but they were adding laws within the laws. which was mentioned in, I believe it was Mark 9. They were adding, right, to their own, for their own righteousness. And it says, but we know the law is good if a man use it lawfully, knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man. Woo! It's not made for a righteous man. Why? Because the righteous man, he's already doing what's according to the law, right? But for the lawless and the disobedient, for the ungodly and for the sinners, for the unholy and profane and for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers, for whoremongers. And I've got news for you. I don't know every brother, but you know, brothers in this truth, we didn't just become righteous overnight. You don't know a lot of brothers' backgrounds. A lot of brothers were in gangs. They were what you call active. Some brothers could have been running all different things. Some are selling drugs, some are musicians, different walks of life. So this is describing the men in different walks of life. It says murderers, fathers of murderers and mothers, manslayers, for whoremongers, which is a pimp. Some brothers were pimps, man. Pimping out women. But the Lord is so merciful, he can bring you into the truth. For them that defile themselves with mankind. You listen. For them that defile themselves with mankind, for men stealers, for liars, for perjured persons. And if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine. So you know what a man stealer is? You know what that is? That's another form of trafficking. Man stealing. Right? For liars, for perjured persons. You know what perjured is? It's perjury. Someone that gets up in the law system and twists the law. Fraudulent documents. They fraudulent their documents. And if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine, according to the glorious of the blessed gospel of God, which is committed to my trust, that's who the law is for. Those that are willing to repent, that are doing evil, but they're willing to repent. That's who it's for. Okay? Let me just check something. I'm going to need to shut off soon because I want to save this battery. So we're rehearsing right now. And every day, put forth the effort because Yahweh sees. And you are not going to be perfect by ourselves, but let's check this out. Yahweh wants us to try. Try. All right? Make that effort. Because one may say, well, no, the Lord, he doesn't care about the law. Yes, he does care about the law. And this is the law. John 13. And it says, 34, a new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you, and you also love one another. By this shall all men know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. You love your brother. You don't hold any grudge towards him or bad ill will or malice. You love him as yourself. You treat him as you would want yourself treated. You treat him the same way. You don't want him lying to you. Don't lie to him. You don't want him stealing from you. Don't steal from him. You don't want him committing adultery. Don't commit adultery with his woman. That's a law. And read Galatians as well, because I'm not going to read it all. Some of you need to look up things yourself. Because I'm not being horrible. Some of you come on my lessons and say, good video, nice video. I'm not knocking that. I appreciate that. Thank you for the video. But are you actually studying yourself? Please don't just sneak on my videos just to get the words, which is good because you're learning. But you also got to study yourself. And build up your relationship with Yahweh Shai. And don't just be a taker. Yeah, give, but don't just take. Okay? So the Lord requires that we also keep his word. You got individuals trying to destroy it. Destroy us out here. It's real. Destroy us. You got people, editors. Ex-editors. They were once editors for the news. And they were writing false articles about certain brothers. The Lord's going to open up on your arse for that, man. That's why when you believe a lie, sometimes people can say something and all of a sudden that lie just It picks up weight of his soul. But if the Lord be for us, who can be against us? And there is no condemnation to those that are in Yahweh Shai. So I'm going to shut off here. Lord willing, this was edifying. And until the next time, shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.